And ladies and gentlemen, indeed the final match of an entire season is upon us. APLEU is coming to an end and we'll soon be finding out who will be crowned as the champions of the second season of Auzom. It's been awesome indeed. And we've seen a lot of great surprises as well, but at the same time, teams that we know to perform better who are sitting at the top. Isn't that right, Lee?
Absolutely. And the question is, can Vitality do it? It's still, 150 points, that's a lot in one game. But if FaZe have a bad match, they won a lot, 11th place in the last game. It's totally possible. The way, a circle could certainly screw things over. We'll see how it goes. Decent playing for them, so they don't need to worry about having to scramble around and looking for vehicles, etc., like a couple of the games before. In fact, probably one of the best players we've had, apart from Liquid, I guess, who've got a long drop over to Yasno a fair bit. But they're the only team that's really been affected by this thing.
Yes, indeed. They're not going to be too bothered. It does look like they have some vehicles to their name, so they're going to be picking them up and soon picking up Skoom, perhaps, potentially. Last round, they've left them far behind, but that's because Skoom was far back from his team nonetheless. So we will watch and see how that one develops. In the meantime, we do see teams. Oh, there you go. So Skoom does have a vehicle for himself as well. They might be going, should be making their way towards the snap. But yeah, we'll be seeing the first circle show up in just a few moments. Until we get to that point, though. No, Skoom, sorry, he was he does find himself a vehicle. That's a good one, nonetheless. There you go. Try to get him fast into Yasnaya.
Good one?
I see good one. I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with me there.
Yeah, he's got a vehicle. That's all we can say.
I mean, it's fast. Well, yeah, it's from there to Yasnaya. It's
not the bag bus. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. From here to Yasnaya, it's an open field. There's some dips and divots on those fields that could be dangerous, but you can make your way fast. I guess is what the point that I was trying to make.
Yeah, exactly.
Them being at the edge of the circle, though, is a very, very good thing for them because they can loot up as much as they can after having this rough start.
Yeah, it's not too bad for everyone really, because while it's a northern circle, FaZe, Vitality, Alliance, etc., all have had a decent amount of time in their respective areas to loot because the plane went over there first, so they've kind of got themselves a decent amount of loot time. So this circle shouldn't be too bad for just about everyone playing. It's a northern circle once again, which does mean, of course, as always, limited amounts of compounds, so you'll expect to see a couple of teams rotating early, probably expect to see Method going in there early, trying to get themselves a decent crossroad compound. Obviously, the likes of Lumbermill, who are already up in Severny, will have themselves a decent head start effectively, or to get themselves in and around with just about any position they want. Their crossroads, I believe, was the position they took last time around.
That's where they normally go.
Try and maybe look to go in the same sort of spots again.
Yeah, sorry, that is indeed the normal position that they usually take when the circle swings this way. Yeah, man, Lumbermill couldn't be more chuffed with where the circle has went. Of course, TSM should have an easier entrance as well. It looks like they're sharing North George with another team as well. We'll see. Both of these teams should be able to avoid each other. There shouldn't technically be any fights. Of course, North George is kind of split apart by that one puzzle building where TSM is kind of heading right now. But yeah, things should be quite safe and quite quiet for the start of the game, unless otherwise specified by one of the teams who would hot drop someone else, so to speak. But it doesn't look to be the case here anyway.
No, still 64 alive. Everybody's in a safe space at the moment, looking to try and get themselves a couple more points on the board. Just current standings, FaZe, of course, in first place. 1,252 points is what Vitality are chasing with 1,096 points. So obviously, a win, it's 7 points per kill as well. A win is, 190, I believe? Just thinking off the top of my head. I'm going to have a quick look. 190 it is for a win plus 7 points per kill. So they really need to have a decent performance to make up the 150-point gap. Anybody else outside of that? Maybe Alliance at 951 and Penta at 942. You're looking at a 250-point chase. Probably not really. Well, a 200-point chase would have to be a very strong result, because you know that FaZe are going to pick up probably, let's look minimum. If they finish even 10th place, they're looking at 38 points. So they're going to get 40 points on top of what they already have. So you're looking to gain 250 points. So for Alliance and Penta to take it, they're going to have a monstrous performance, like a 16-plus kill game.
Yeah, they could indeed. Well, Vitality is sitting pretty, but then again, they're 150, less than 100, 140 points away from them, as you called it. So they're looking good as well. It's just going to be, I think it's going to be a battle between Vitality and FaZe, whether or not FaZe have a harder rotation going on to the north side, because that's what they usually do. FaZe, where they are right now, they usually go straight north, going past Lipovka, past Mansion, and then rotate all the way from Stalber on the north side of Stalber, actually. So we'll see how that is affected. In the meantime, there is a crate drop coming in here, and we'll have a look in just a moment to see what it is. And it is an M24, I believe. Yes, it is indeed. It's got a first aid kit thrown in there just for shits and giggles, I suppose, and a tax stock as well to spice it up the day. But yeah, a good crate, and I think Lumbermill could have a chance of picking this one up without any kind of problem.
Yeah, if they should see it coming down, hopefully. But we've seen teams kind of ignore them. It's one of those things, right? Crates are not as important as they would be in a public game. I think it's safe to say, because most of these guys are just so good with the weapons they have, the assault rifles they have available to them, the SCARs, the M4s, the M16s, etc. So they're kind of nailed on. But yeah, you can see they're going to go for that. They'll find themselves. I think Wookie Bookie will probably be the one that will end up with the M24 over shoot. I think he's normally the scope for them.
I think so, yeah. Now, Gustav, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, Gustav maybe end up with it. We'll see. Well, he may just trade it out. I don't know. But, did he just lose a tire there, Larry? I think that was Larry going around there from one. 80. Oh, it's 80. Method on the rotate. Okay, method on the rotate going early. We did say they'd go early. Not probably the position he wants to be in. I don't think here, though.
Definitely not. And I actually overextended. Normally they go to the compound south of Aitzi. Not too sure what this extension would have meant for them, but perhaps they want to try a little bit of just a tiny bit of a adjustment, so to speak, considering where the circle has went so far. But Aitzi is getting peppered with some shots there. Half-Life onto him, but that's going to be all she wrote so far, it seems. I don't believe he would go down at this moment in time. It doesn't look like it anyway. So his teammates are going to know where enemies are, and they're going to avoid that compound as far as they can, just to keep alive.
Rogue are rotating fairly early. They're regrouping up on Everest there, I can see. So
sure that's Rogue,
the rest of the method coming up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Rogue that's up there, yeah. So they're regrouping in around Everest. So just getting everybody in one place. You can see a little bit of Overwatch coming out there as well. That's what I like to see. Checking out, using that scope to check out exactly where they are. They are within the circle. I wonder if they're going to maybe just try and stake it around here or go for that Georgie Pole West Bridge, I guess is probably the position. Looks like where they're going to go. Yep. Everybody always avoids the East Bridge of Georgie Pole. If you're unawares, well, you can see the reason. There's someone camping it.
Yes, indeed, there is. Now, it does look like that, well, that mountaintop isn't necessarily played that often. And that, actually, I've seen it earlier on. I don't know if NA plays it, but I know that NA used to play that mountaintop a lot. But in EU, you rarely see teams go up there. One of the things is that you do have 360 view. That's one of the benefits. But on the downside, also people around you, all around you, far away onto the map, 1 kilometer, any kind of direction, will have vision onto you as well. So you don't want to necessarily be there unless you're hunting hard for frags. Some shots being taken on Iwan on the other side of the bridge there. He's going to try and dink down that UAZ. He does get a knockout himself, it does seem like here. I think he did. I'm not too sure. So if you just, yeah, Chris did go down from Team Meta. So they will have to rotate to the other side of the bridge onto the safer route, and that they do indeed. Now, here's the thing. If you're just tuning in here, we're having just a few technical difficulties. We're giving all the bandwidth to the stream so that casters don't necessarily see that well. But we're working out with what we have. Thank you so much, guys, for being patient as we break down the final match here.
We don't need to see anything. It's all good.
Don't.
Just everybody else knows what's going on. And speaking of what's going on, there's shots fired in the top. There is that liquid going into the warehouse once again, I believe. So it is. James, I can see there. James and the Knights trading blows over in the warehouse to see if we can get themselves some action over there. It doesn't look like anything's going to come of it, though. TSM, they've got themselves out of Georgia Pole. And along with, I think that's the Diamond Dogs that were coming around the sides. It is indeed. So they're going to be blasting over, passing by TSM actually. So probably, I mean, they're both loot North Georgia Pole, right? So always expect to be near each other. Yeah, and they're going to pull up early just to double check on the compound. And sure enough, they're going to see people there.
Yes, indeed. Lux holding on to his angle there. His teammates could be helping him out there. They've got some decent loot here, it seems here. With the exception of that vest, of course. But still, nonetheless, level 3 helmet. Well, that's usually where you get shot, so that's a good one. There goes break. And he goes early. Press F to pay respects for this gentleman. It's
Not been his day, has it? That's
yeah,
for sure.
that's what I wanted to say. It's not necessarily his time right now, but yeah, still.
Execution in the tunnel in the game one. If you missed it, fun times.
Yeah, it doesn't look like cars are really his friend anywhere at any point in time. Vitality now getting
Oh, the
really taken
DP.
down hard by Cloudtail with the perfect weapon to take down vehicles. That DP from Cloudtail is really putting in a lot of damage here. One of the last from Vitality, Shadow knocked out already, while Cloudtail is holding on to a spot there. So here's the thing. Team needs to have a lot of kill points here. The Imperial need to climb up on the ranks, so they're holding on to the spot effectively to try and stop any rotations coming in here. They knew Vitality are most likely going to come in from this area, so they were effectively gatekeeping them.
Yeah, and this is the problem for Vitality, right? Because of the effective embargo they have with FaZe. FaZe goes off the north coast. They always end up going that way. Vitality always run into trouble at that bridge. Always on their rotations when it's this northern circle. They never have a clean entry. And bear in mind, this is the team that is the closest to chase FaZe. Meanwhile, look at FaZe. Safest route possible. Go around the North Stauber. They get themselves into their standard complex on the coastline. All four members completely untouched.
Absolutely, and they could even push further down to their west if they would choose so, and that they do indeed to the gas station. This is another place that they love to play from, and they're actually very proficient at that one there. I think they're going to be holding on to that. No, actually, they're not going to, because the circle swings south of them, so you have to reposition. But with that, they're going to go through the jaws of the Knights and the Liquids. Knights, which smartly haven't taken the gas station as they did in the first match here, with a similar circle, of course. Now we're going to have to go on an early rotate to try and keep Liquid out of it. Liquid have themselves another idea and will spread apart. Nice will take a good compound. This is a very, very powerful compound that they take here. And, well, yeah, by the way, they're parking their vehicles. They're going to be making it their home, whilst FaZe are rotating to their east, to a different place. Perhaps they would love to play the Rocks at this moment in time. I think that would be a good place to go.
Yeah, or just the shacks down to the towards the edge of the coast, which is probably where they may look to. You
Oh,
got
the
to try and keep the
yellows,
vehicles
yes.
as safe as possible, really. Dingerabs and Co. moving down the hill for the boys that won the previous game. Cat in the background. Meow. Get your cat signs out there. 8-seat. And from Method, not in a good place. They had such a good day yesterday. It was looking really good for them, but they've just fell off today. It's just been one of those days that's not worked that way. Maybe the countless hours that they've all been playing over this weekend for the qualifiers for DreamHack. And here, obviously, the final four games, it may be just accumulating. Fatigue is a big thing.
It is indeed. That's a lot of games that these gentlemen have to play today. Do keep that in mind whilst you're watching this. Now, AT very far away from Stab, which is the other man remaining from Team Method, but Stab is actually in the water all the way north in Severny. So AT's going to have to hold off a block by himself. Let's see if that does occur. Looks like Dingerabs will have his number quite soon, while Arky is on the other side, the other house, just holding on with his rifle. They're not actively trying to chase down IT. They know he's in there. They're going to try and keep him inside as long as they can. But they also know that it could be potentially dangerous. That those buildings are never easy to push. Not even now, after so much time that we have PUBG, do we know of a safe way to push those particular types of building. But talking about pushes, really.
Yeah, dude, TSM being pushed by Digital Chaos, and these yellow buildings, they are easy to push. These are not easy to hold on to. APR is going to try and have to find the angle as Fausto passes by. The doors are just being blown apart. Going to get himself a clean angle. Gets the head straight away on Fausto. Gets a little glimpse of Sims as well. He's going to have to tuck himself in tight here. There's a window behind him as well, which his teammates are going to have to try and cover just over the other side, which is what Sims is trying to rotate towards. They get the shots across. Rory will go down. Nade's getting tossed out as well, so Ewan backs away. But Digital Chaos having a really good job at storming them out here. Two members of TSM down, make that three, and TSM are gone.
Absolutely flushed, it seems, here by DC, who definitely needed the points themselves, as they weren't necessarily in the best of places, which is, well, to say 16th. But yeah, absolutely, the Digital Chaos will be very, very happy with these early frags. And, well, TSM wouldn't necessarily. TSM going down currently on 11th place. But there you go, Vitality taking shots back at the oppressors that took down their own teammates earlier on. We'll see how that one works out, but Vitality definitely have the higher ground here in this confrontation. In the meantime, we look at Penta still into Roshawk, whilst the Lions are just now crossing onto the north side of the river, banking on the circle going on that side, and it most likely will. All the while we see Stav making his way outside of the water and inside of the land, but he has to run all the way through. And it's not going to be an easy run. He will be going against Diamond Dogs, who are just close to him on the inside of the white.
Absolutely. Alliance are going for the bridge troll approach. Ooh, Jazza coming up against FC Espo there. We'll catch a glimpse of Mice coming in across the fields, though. So realizes probably a little dangerous to peek over this hill at the moment. So the rest of his team are still all just down there. And FC Espo completely unaware of Rogue at the moment, I believe, on that side. They're just having a little look towards it, but totally unaware that there's another team so close. Is actually going to bail out, is the word I'm after, and just go off into the distance and rejoin his team. No, that's not his team. This is not my team. What is going on with it?
It doesn't necessarily work out, but I'll tell you who it does work out with. It is for Team 1, who do get the knockouts. Never mind, the trades do happen in the meantime there. So Larry's going to have to come in and help out his teammate. And that's not to say that he's going to have too hard of a time, because already 2 guys from Rogue have been downed, and they're trying to make their way inside that smoke for a bit more safety. I don't think one of them will. But yes, indeed, that might be a res that will happen. In the meantime, Espo have left their grounds. It looks like Larry will push forward, whilst Rogue, with the last 2 men standing from Rogue, are going to have to run from this fight and find a different place to try and push in for the next white. A bit of a battle that didn't necessarily go nicely for Rogue. And Rogue, another team that will need the points. Look at Yempty go straight into the middle there. They want to take the Harry Potter. Yempty's going to be roaming around it. Shots on him. Not a lot of them seem to connect. No, Yempty's not going to be too bothered by it. He will make it to this Harry Potter, which is quite powerful, but they are close to Alliance.
Absolutely, very close. So FaZe get themselves in a comfy spot. Harry Potter, Wizard Tower, whatever you prefer to call it. Sniper Tower, I think, was one name some people give it, but Harry Potter's stuck, and I'm glad of it. You're a wizard, Harry. But in comes Zuklet now. They won the last game. They get themselves in the water, though. So they're just going to play it out at the moment. It's actually very much a 50-50 split between the river, isn't it, right now? I think the circle was. So really is a case of, do we go Rozhok side or we go north side? North side is, of course, very limited compounds, which is why a lot of teams are maybe looking towards going the south side at the moment. Rogue have took this long angle. The 2 members of Rogue, they're actually way down. Vitality are playing either side edge of the water. You can see on that bridge line. So they're actually playing. You can skip on the bridge. Was it struts? That's the word I'm after. Maybe the struts. You can play really well around them. Oroxes, meanwhile, though, and Monkey get him sniped out. No, it doesn't land.
Not necessarily. Opia is gonna have to put some more shots in there, but none of them will do connect. While Suntouch is on the other side of the bridge, knows where Monkey is from his teammate, could potentially go for the frag. He's got his teammate close by as well, just waiting for the perfect time to take his shot. He will swap out for the M44X on top of that one. There he goes, peppering Monkey down with shots, but they can't connect them. Finally they do, and that will be Monkey taken out by Pide. I do believe, yes, indeed it is. Whilst Shiv can't do anything to help out his teammates, they've split up so far, and it looks to have been going for the worst for them. Yeah, not necessarily the best of ways here. Looks like Vitality are in a higher spot right now with FaZe as well, taking shots. It does look like FaZe are, well, they're taking shots at anybody around them, and they actually have a very good chance to dink down teams close by, whilst Diamond Dogs seem to be in a bit of a battle here with Lumber Mill, but Diamond Dogs are not too interested, and they will climb on their bikes and make their way inside the next circle, because, well, their enemies are in water, so there's not a lot of shots that they could potentially take here.
Yeah, this is looking okay for them, though. They're obviously in the Wizard Tower. Vitality, I mean, Vitality were the team that were chasing them, right? But now they're down to 1. Shiv even being lit up on the back of this crate, just basically praying and hoping that FaZe don't land one of these shots at the moment. So it's looking good for FaZe to take number 1. The question is, who will take 2, 3, 4? That's really, I guess, the now the object. Dre finds himself randomly, I don't know what was going on there. I was just like, what happened there? Well, how did Dre suddenly teleport to the Imperials? There he is. Okay, so Dre is back on the edge. I was a little confused by what just happened there on the camera, and I think so was Skyline. It's like, what? Fun times that can happen with PUBG observing.
Fun times that can happen with PUBG observing through a remote server that isn't necessarily working out that well for us, because the observing part is definitely good. But look at this one. We still don't know whether the circle is going to swing north or south of the river. which puts teams at a well, not that much of an advantage, I suppose, but still these teams that are on the south side have some chances yet. Though Larry coming in close to Mizzy. Mizzy doesn't seem to take any shots here. Larry will get absolutely bodied here, it seems. Like Toyoho will put him down. FCS will finally get their chances at this game after having so many difficult rotations, but they're still not done yet. Penta to their north, and they have team to their south as well. One Alliance as well joining in the fun. So, ooh, look at this one here. Penta just barely making it out alive. They're gonna go inside the water, and will stay Udir with just a sliver of life left.
Yeah, well, the UAZ, it's in there, Cup of Magic. He's got his breaststroke sorted out, so he's all right, he's safe. We don't need to get any water wings for him. He's going to be okay. Everybody else, though, Liquid, still keeping themselves relevant on the top side. Meanwhile, the Knights have got Shiv pretty much flanked down. And, you know, Vitality, who we were talking about, you know, they could do with a chicken dinner here. 14th place is not really what they were thinking of. And they are, well, I think Dre is looking to close him down here as well. Ewan, meanwhile, in the distance here, scoping out on Scoom. Is that okay? It's Liquid that's peeking. I can't see.
Jeems, yeah.
Jeems. It's Jeems. Oh, he sees him in the van. Oh, the clean headshot was there. It's just a little too slow to react.
Yep, you don't want to be too slow when you're up against the Liquid gentlemen. They will definitely take you down as fast as possible. But look at Knight coming so close to Shiv. And Shiv, well, mind you, he's the last man standing for Vitality. Vitality need to stay alive. They're currently in the second place. But this could really turn things around. Shiv does not have a helmet. Grama is so close to spotting him, but he doesn't. And they give up on the fight completely. Shiv just barely avoids death at the unwilling or unknowing mercy of the Knights here. Second chance of life, if ever to talk about it.
Absolutely. But now Stab is unfortunately maybe going to be the man that gets pushed here by Digital Chaos. They are driving by. Stab's just got himself. He's got himself against that little nook there's face. Try and take shots. Samty making the run. Was a little too open for his liking as he hears the shots from both FaZe and Knights ringing out in the distance. Digital Chaos do drive on by, so they've managed to get themselves in towards the cliffside, so they'll be safe from FaZe's wrath at the moment. And Stab, well, he's going to be trying to creep in behind them. Lumbermill, they're in the water alongside the Diamond Dogs. Alliance looks like they've got Sigsy knocked. Fever has managed to get himself into Rozok, though, the final member, as a DMA fire from Penta just pops out of the water and takes shots on Digital Chaos.
Digital Chaos won't be too bothered by that one here, it seems. But they will be bothered by their enemies to the north. Soon enough, they're going to have to make some sort of a move whilst the circle does strangle in. We'll see how that one works out later on. In the meantime, though, we see the Knights and Liquid at it. It does look like Liquid are on top of the situation, but smoke will follow soon enough by Drayden to rest his fallen teammates, and this should occur without any problems. Oh, never mind. Problems might come in from the south of the Knights. Yes, indeed, Suntouch is taking the shots on Survivor, which will go down finally. Yes, it will occur here. Drayden trying to stay alive just on the outside of that smoke. Is going to have to prone in, and safe he is, but just for a few moments. It does look like Liquid would want to push into their angle as well. A battle here for the Knights, and the Knights will go down quite early on, it seems. That was the final kill on them. Still, we don't know. Is it north or south of the river?
Yeah, that's... Oh, man. Okay. What happened to these? The circle will shift away from the water.
Well,
where's it going now?
From the sides, it does shift away every time we do see it. Around the third circle, there's not a lot of water left from the actual, like from the sea.
From the sea, but the lake is still a part of it. No. It's looking like a lot of teams are going to end up in here, which actually, you know, while they're going in there trying to get the placements, fortune favors the brave. There's a compound which FaZe are heading for right now, which is completely open. And if they to get in there, now FaZe are one of the teams that very rarely stick in the water. They usually play on the edge of the water to try and pick up all the kills. The problem is having to run the gauntlet to get up there. The MT and Mexi makes it. The smokes are going down. Fuzzface, I don't think is going to make it here. Hacksteady is going to get taken low. Fuzzface dodges. Fuzzface goes left, and he will get knocked. But he should be safe. There's a lot of shots coming his way. But the pan saved one, but Fuzzface will go down. FaZe still with 3, though, alive.
Still, though, FaZe do manage what this risky rotate, do manage to get one of those powerful compounds that you were mentioning. And as you said, it does favor the Brave. And with their current position, they should be able to gatekeep anybody coming in from the next circle through. In the meantime, though, we do see one making their way closer to one compound as well. But this one is taken by Fuffins from Rogue. We'll see how Fuffin stands out this trial of fire. He's going to have to really prove his mettle in this battle here. In the meantime, Diamond Dogs coming in from the west side of Rorschach, making their way east, are not going to be gatekept directly by anybody just so far because everybody else is busy with other battles, but soon enough they're going to be spotted themselves, and I think Espo could have an angle on them.
They certainly do. Fraser going to try and come around. It's so hard when you're in and around Rozhok like this. It's such a small area of Rozhok that's left in the circle as well that everybody's kind of having to try and basically run to a building and hope that it's empty, because at the moment you just don't know what you're running into. So kind of checking every angle, every corner, every little nook as Fraser peeks out the side there. As soon as he peeks, he's going to see Alliance, and he does. He lights up Fever, and Fever tries to crawl away from this one, and Nade's going to follow it up. That's going to be the end of Fever. Oh, VZ, back away. Quickly backs down there, and I think he got spotted by Fraser as well. Fraser's going to try and line a couple of nades for him, and VZ goes out the back.
Indeed, he does. Those nades don't necessarily connect Fever, who's safely so on the stairs right now at this moment in time. VZ will attempt a res later on, but right now he has to make sure that he stays alive for as much as he can. Terrifically. In the meantime, from the gentleman of Lumber Mill, we'll go back into the water here, it seems. Two of his teammates down, so that's, well, I think, yeah, it's two of his teammates just can't. I see they're close to Digital Chaos, so Lumber Mill aren't looking fantastic at this moment in time, but they're still alive. 11 teams remain, and most of them are so close to one another on this west coast, with Liquid on the northeast side just being quite safe so far. It seems they only have the Imperials to the south, but there you go. Finally, the circle does decide to sway the south side, and would you look at that? FaZe will have an easy time gatekeeping a lot of teams here.
Ewan just going to get himself healed up, trying to play on the edge of the river as the circle shifts very far to the right. Actually, that's a big shift down to the southeast corner. FaZe not even in it either, and they're on one of the final compounds of Rozhok, so they even need to make a move across and try and join the rest as VZ goes diving, looking for some sort of ancient treasure, finds himself a old 1980s buggy instead. Ewan, meanwhile, he's got a long way to run.
That does seem the case, and it's getting penciled out that the one strat or the two strategies available for all those Western teams is either go inside the water or face. In the meantime, though, it looks like Cloudtail has pushed in here, so one of the gentlemen from Liquid has been taken down, Samty, I do believe. So Cloudtail would go back to his team to get a pat on the back as much as he can. Well, that's pretty much all that he can do. With 1 second left, he has to make it into the next circle where his teammates are so far, it seems. He will try to make it as far on land as possible before getting taking any shots, but it doesn't look like anybody's busy with them. Liquid are going to be busy themselves trying to get into the circle. In the meantime, though, it does look like Diamond Dogs are in a battle with Espo.
I'm not sure if it's much a battle, more of an execution, because they're trying to run with the blue on their backs, and FC Espo, obviously inside the circle, have themselves an easy setup there as the Diamond Dogs will go down. Currently, the best position was the Imperial guys. We just saw that. They got the singular main compound that's left within the circle outside of here. You can see where Rogue are. Outside over the ridge, that's where Imperials are. They've got themselves that compound. So even FaZe need to make a move. Now, FC Espo, they're trying to make the push up this hill. Question is, they're going to clash with FaZe. Yesterday, in Game 4, the last of the day, FaZe destroyed FC Espo as they tried to storm Vitality's building, completely caught them off guard and just destroyed them in literally seconds. All 4 members. This time, FC Espo, can they get the revenge? I'm not sure they're ready to face FaZe. They're putting a lot of smoke down.
Yeah, they are. They're trying to avoid this battle whilst all the while Rogue are going to be waiting just for them. Mixie still holding on to a spot there. Will take the shots, and that's going to be Espo eliminated as 7th. But there's also one of the guys that got eliminated there. I haven't actually managed to see who it is. So it's 5 teams left alive. FaZe pushing in now with the blues on their backs. Terrifically now, the last man standing for Lumbermill was Ibiza is the last one for Liquid. here, it does seem like the Imperial actually have a very decent chance at this. They have a good chunk of the white. They're trying to keep everybody out. Rogue as well. Ewan does get knocked out himself by FaZe, so this is a chance for them to push. But Fuffins is just on this side of the wall, just waiting for FaZe to make their play. But smartly, Mixie does decide to come in from the backside, so Fuffins could come in with one frag here. But he is being patient in the meantime. That is super smart of him.
No.
However, he gets spotted by Haxetti and brought to nothing, as Mixie will be happy to loot him instead.
You know, I thought Rogue were in such a good spot. SKS peeking out the window, landing the shots, and then bam, instant headshot from Mexi. Just took him straight out there. Yeah, it's just so bad. But Imperial still have a really good spot. 4 members alive. They have the smallest edge of a compound that remains in the circle. And they've also got a UAZ actually blocking that position, I believe, on the right-hand side as well. So they should have like an extra little bit of space on the compound to give them the cover. Yeah, just there. So it's kind of, this is the edge, this edge circle that will remain in there. The problem is, look ahead of them is a giant hill that FaZe can use to just peekaboo over the top. Meanwhile, in the river, you can see Trifoli in there from Lumbermill and Liquid. It's Ibiza, I think it is. It's both got to come out of the water. So they're the 4 teams that are standing. 3 members of FaZe versus 4 members of the Imperial are the main ones.
Yes, indeed it is. Now, Yempty holding the angle towards the water, knows that there's some players in there. Not a lot left, actually. It's just Ibiza and Trifoli that have to come out, and they will come out. Indeed, there will be a bit of a battle between themselves unless Yempty takes them down both. Now, it does look like he spotted Trifoli. He will be taking the shots on him. None of them will connect, but Trifoli is in a dire spot to move now. With him being actually observed, they're going to proactively try and keep him out of his current position. I think there is a sliver of life, or sorry, a sliver of water in that particular circle. Suntouch, in the meantime, has pushed in, and this is like Cloudtail is going to be helping him out as well from the other side of the ridge. So again, this could be a potential good moment for the Imperial to actually get themselves this chicken dinner, unless FaZe will eliminate them as well. It does look like Ibiza does go down, so it's just going to be a Lumbermill, last man standing, Trifoli, versus FaZe versus the Imperial, but I don't think Lumbermill will have any say in this game.
Well, Lumbermill may not have a say in the game, but they've got a really good say in the points here. I think it's put them into 3rd place overall, which is a massive result for these boys, which will certainly shove Alliance down. Trifoli is about to peek up out of the water. Yempty's taking the shots. He's not keeping an eye, just has a little flick over to the left there, but it's a really hard position to try and keep his angle here, because Trifoli could pop out at any moment there. Meanwhile, vehicle... Did the vehicle explosion go down? No, he just drowned. Oh, okay, he went down the play zone, basically. Okay, so fair enough. So that's going to be Lumbermill in 3rd place, and it's down to a straight-up shootout between FaZe on 13 kills and counting against the Imperials.
Yeah, let's see how this one pans out. In the meantime, it does look like the circle sways to FaZe. And, well, it's got to be up to Cloudtail and his teammate. But they haven't been spotted themselves. They're full HP. They're boosting, pre-boosting up for the battle that's about to come. And the battle that's about to come is actually not that far away. These final circles don't last long. So Cloudtail, Suntouch making their way on the side. This is a danger moment for Haxetti. But he will be going inside the smoke. Nope, he won't. Getting absolutely bodied by his enemy. It seems that Cloudtail wants to push in as well. Getting the next further frags down. They're being proactive, these gentlemen here. And it's working out just good for the Mixie now. Gets taken out as well. This could be a GG for the Imperial, but a refract comes in from Yempty. He's not done just yet. He has to reload his gun though. Running out of bullets indeed. And as he does, he's going to push his way up forward to his enemy. Oh, that's a confident play, and we'll see him get the frag as well. Now it's just going to be basically a 1v2 situation. I'm not too sure because we can't see that well right now, but Yempty is really making it work here, it seems. Repositions himself, spots another one of his enemies there, takes the shots, but doesn't connect that many. He will switch for another weapon, but it doesn't work out. It will be the GG and the chicken dinner for the Imperial, who managed at the last leg to get themselves a victory. Will they see themselves on the 10th place? I don't know if it will, but a nice effort out of them.
12 kills for the Imperial, so a really good finish there, but 15 for FaZe, and very much 1st place secured, and very much just continuing on where they left off throughout the entirety of the Auzom Premier League. They have dominated it. They finished a long way at the top, and rightly so. They are the team that will lift the trophy at the end there. Team Liquid, they did get a bit of revival, little 4th place there, but Lumbermill, sorry, while they got 3rd place, they only got the 1 kill. Now, they were chasing the likes of Alliance and Penta, and they were ahead of Method already, so Vitality as well. And I don't think they've maybe done enough to chase Vitality down, but they've certainly maybe done enough to get themselves 3rd place, possibly 2nd.
I think so. I think so. I don't know, but yeah, with Vitality, yeah, that's all about the number of kills. I don't think they have the sufficient number of kills to have taken Vitality out of this, out of the second place. But yeah, I think they're going to be top three, man. Lumbermill, that's a great performance, ladies and gentlemen. They're not signed. I think there's, yeah, they're. I think they're about the one non-signed team in this top five as we look at it from the previous match. That's actually insane. They're from the top seven, from the top eight, from the top nine. They're the only unsigned team. So that shows you that, you know, someone watching right now that want to sign a team, I think this is your team, Lumbermill, right here. They're definitely talented, gentlemen. But yeah, there you go. FaZe going on to second. They pretty much secured it. I do believe it's just going to be a battle on the top five, pretty much this way back and forth. Lee, it's been an absolute pleasure casting this entire season of Auzom. And listen, we're ride or die boys. Auzom stands for a lot for us. Before we go out into the night as mere casters, so to speak, we have to thank Auzom for all the work that they've put forward. There's a lot of gentlemen behind the scenes that you guys don't see. Gentlemen and ladies that work super hard so that Auzom can have it. They might not have prize money, but the work they put in really balance it out. That's why the pros, that's why us, that's why everybody is sticking around for them, waiting for their chance to get in there. So thank you, Auzom, for everything you've been putting forward. You guys are absolutely legendary, and we will never stop fighting for you guys. That's all I have to say. And thank you to you, the viewers. I suppose that's one of the other things. As well to Skyline, the observer, the talented observer himself, for all these awesome events. Lee, any parting words, I suppose, before we throw it onto the desk?
No, just to echo your thoughts exactly there. Looking forward to Auzom Premier League Season 3 coming up in whenever it may well come out. But yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. Fantastic series and fantastic season overall. And of course, you know, when a season plays out, you expect FaZe to win it.
Yeah, it does seem to be the way. We'll see if it was indeed or not. The Vitality were the only ones that could have potentially got to them, but it didn't work out at all whatsoever. But we'll have to wait and see what that top 5, top 10, top 18 is going to be as we throw it onto our analyst panel. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being here tonight. For you, it's been Boogie and Lee, and we'll listen to what Cammy and Jura have to say.
What a great series of games. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Cameron Davis, joined by Jorisar, as we're on the final desk. Last game was just played. And while FaZe may not have won the first place, may not have won the chicken dinner, it is without a doubt that they are going to be carrying home the gold trophy after this time. But what a final, like 1v1, I should say, a team that came in first versus the team that came into this series in last.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every dog has his day, man. And it was delightful to see Imperial do what they did. The Imperials, by the way, had 9 total kills by the time the game got down to 2 teams. So they've shown that with a bit of good positioning, they can put games away. They can take advantages against ridiculously good teams. It just happens to be that we have 16 of some, I mean, these are some of the best teams in the world here. So sitting at 16th place, yeah, it looks pretty lowly. Don't forget the skill level these guys are at. It was great to watch them 1v1 FaZe Clan and actually take it to them to close out the night there. That was fantastic stuff.
Yeah, and it was all because of that flank. Pulling out a move that actually looked very reminiscent of what FaZe do multiple times. They had those players in the compound be a little bit of a distraction, and you could just see the other two lying on the side of the hill, waiting for their time to strike, and it caught FaZe completely off guard. Jempty, bless his heart, almost did it. The best player in the world almost brought it back as the solo standing FaZe player, but it was not meant to be. But still, a good second place. But Imperial, what a good showing. I know you had some thoughts on the circle. Maybe we can follow back up onto Imperial later, because I know that I have some thoughts on how they did it. But yeah, it's open up so how this game kind of took place, and we can kind of narrate how Imperial came to this victory.
I think so, yeah. And you'll be able to take a look at these scoreboards in the meantime. I'm going to deliberately not talk about number of points for now to keep the chat in suspense a little while longer. But the game and how this game played out. First of all, the biggest difference between Vitality and FaZe. We were talking before the game about how Vitality have one shot, one opportunity, but were they going to like maybe sneak in a little bit of a hot drop, or were they going to protect the second place? You were absolutely bang on the money there, Cameron. Vitality went Milta, FaZe were Milta power. Didn't really see an opportunity for Vitality to take them out early. Fair enough, Vitality played to preserve their second place. And unfortunately, the biggest difference between the two teams was that Vitality decided to go straight across the bridge, whereas FaZe went all the way up via Lepovka and Kameshki and Stalber to get up Severny Way. And guess what? Vitality end up with one person at the end of their rotation. FaZe have everyone alive. That was the biggest difference between them, and that basically spelt the end for Vitality's chances to take first today.
Yeah, and this actually isn't the first time that people compare not just those two teams themselves, but particularly their rotation style. That's basically on brand for FaZe and Vitality, what they do. FaZe, they do the long loop over and they wait till the very end. Vitality like to get there a little earlier. They don't bomb center themselves, but oftentimes you will see Vitality go out because of a just a rough rotation. But that river being in the middle of that circle, though, really, I don't know, defined a lot. Razak was very impactful in it, of course. You could see FaZe gatekeep a lot of people once it finally swung off of Razak. FaZe, by the way, going to that compound was like, you don't see them do something like that often because it was such a risky run. But looking at the space that was on the northern side, if they didn't do that, they would have had to fight tooth and nail to even stay alive on that northern half of the circle.
Exactly. And even before the circle got to that sort of point, we had a couple of, shall we say, unfortunate things that demonstrated maybe the story of the day or the story of the weekend for some of these teams. Chris didn't have the best day today, unfortunately, and he ended up being the first person killed in this game. So I think he ended our Sunday with 0 kills, but he performed so well yesterday. So perhaps something similar to fatigue that the casters were talking about, how Method dropped off the ball a bit. We kind of saw that, to be honest, in the last couple of games. And TSM being the 16th team out in game number 8 as well. They had a little bit of bad luck on their side. It wasn't completely ideal, but at the same time, it really shows that when TSM are on the ball, they nail it. And when TSM aren't quite on the ball, they can go out really early in the game. And I think, to be fair to them, they've had a couple of roster changes. Like with this out, we've got Rory in. They need to sort of find their mojo in terms of the comms and how they want to be playing together as a unit. And as soon as they do that, when we see TSM on the ball, they strike gold. But today wasn't their day, was it?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about them. They're currently in a little bit of flux. How trying to, like, it's not a new roster necessarily, but it's definitely a new style that they're trying to work with. However, all that being said, I feel like we have left the audience in the dark long enough. The final scores, the final tallies for Auzom Season 2 Europe. It's going to be, without a doubt, FaZe Clan taking home first place with 1,515 points. Vitality do maintain second place with 1,108. Just as...
Hang on. Should we do 5th through 3rd place in descending order? Because this is pretty close.
It's going to be obvious, I think, if we start doing that. So let's just do it standard style, where it was predicted by D-Man and Boogie how Lumbermill jumped up to 3rd place.
Very well done.
1,052 points. Alliance in 4th with 1,003, and then Penta in 5th with a flat, solid 1,000. Only 3 points behind, but that is going to be your top 5 placing teams of the season. Of the season. That's fair to say.
Yes, it was so close. 3 points separating 4th and 5th there, and Penta almost doing enough to overcome Alliance. They finished 11th and 10th, 6 points apart in that last game. Literally a single kill would have allowed them to leapfrog, but Alliance managed to hold on to the top 4 position, with Lumbermill doing an incredible job to come up in 3rd. And I think what the casters pointed out as well, it was very relevant here. They're the only unsigned team effectively in the top goodness knows how many teams. They have been tremendous. So if that doesn't pique someone's interest, I don't know what will. They've been consistently good for a while now. They've always been threatening to do super well in games. So it's nice to see them come back up. And today's placements for them, I mean, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 3rd. We talk about consistency in PUBG all the time. Damn, that's good.
That's pretty good. They came into this at 14th place. So, they may have actually, if they weren't so far down, they actually would have taken 2nd place if there wasn't that original advantage given to all of these teams. So definitely a great performance out by them. They never really exploded in kill count, but that doesn't like they got the kills that they needed to. They were never really quiet either. I mean, that being said, though, I don't know what else there is to say about this. Vitality, a good solid second. A lot of people were questioning if they could can maintain that spot coming into this event, just because we know how inconsistent they themselves can be. And actually looking at today, it shows that a 13-second, 14 really kind of highlights like their usual placements.
That's a great point. Vitality, if they found a little bit more consistency in their games, they would have really taken it to FaZe. Obviously, they needed things to go wrong for FaZe in the end, and it went completely the opposite. But also a great point about Lumbermill. They didn't frag out. If you take a look at the number of kills that they had in today's games, we have in game number 5, 7. And then they got 7, 1, and 1. What that tells me is that they are really good at reading the circles, reading where they think people dropped and where people might be coming into the circles from, and doing a very good job of positioning themselves in places where not only can they stay out of trouble, but if they absolutely have to take a team fight, sure, they can go ahead and take a team down. But if not, they're very happy to be playing for that placement. And that sort of game sense is difficult to come by, because quite often in teams, you see this in teams, even in this lobby, you get 2 or 3 people wanting to do one thing, and then someone disagrees, and it's a little, you get a little bit of a fractious relationship there where they don't all move as one, and suddenly your team's ambushed by someone else. So Lumbermill seem to be doing that particularly well.
Yeah, very good job for them. Well, I don't know about you, but I think this is going to be wrapping us up here, wrapping up the entire event, wrapping up the season. Congratulations to FaZe and Vitality and Lumbermill as well for being our top 3, for being our medalists, should we say. This has been us here at Auzom. I'm Cameron Davis, run by Jorasor. We had multiple people, D-Man, Boogie, and Moses, joining us on the cast throughout the day, and Skyline, of course, on production this entire weekend. Thank you from all of us back here and the rest of Auzom as well. And Season 3, by my understanding, is not too far off, so I hope everyone keeps their ears open for that, because it's going to be even bigger, even better from what I know. I can't share anything just yet, unfortunately, but trust me on this, it's going to be great. Jory, do you have any final words?
Not particularly. I think the production team have done a fantastic job all weekend long. Everyone on the casting desk, Skyline in particular, for nailing production and observing in all the games and making sure the casters can see. Goodness knows what they can see. We've had to swap through various platforms. He was very calm-headed the whole way through, and hopefully you guys didn't even notice it that much. We fought through everything. Auzom's a great place to be, and I can't wait to be back for Season 3. It's going to be fantastic. We hope you guys have all enjoyed it as well tonight, because at the end of the day, none of this happens without you, the viewers. So we really appreciate each and every one of you tuning in to watch the games this evening. But from us, that's it for Season 2. We'll see you next time for Season 3. Take care and good night.